starts now.
Hello and welcome to 11 Alive Midday here at 11. I'm Aisha Howard.
And I'm Cheryl Preheim. It's election day once again across Georgia. People getting used to going back to the polls here, even heading into November. We're following several runoffs today from Clayton County Sheriff to DeKalb CEO. That's a big one. Also the Congressional District number 3. Ariana Manise with 11 Alive's political team joining us live outside Buckhead Library, one of the polling places there. Ariana, what's voter turnout like so far?
Well, Cheryl, we started our morning here at the Buckhead precinct. We then went to a voting location in DeKalb and Clayton counties where we saw very few voters show up to participate in today's runoff election. The few voters that we did speak to, they tell us that while historically a turnout for runoffs are historically low, they say to them showing up today is just as important as any other race. Residents in Clayton and DeKalb counties and 3 Georgia congressional districts are heading to the polls to settle May's primary election.
Even though runoffs are oftentimes forgotten, I think it's really important that people get out and vote.
Sharon Goldmacher was one of a few voters we saw show up to vote right when the polls opened in DeKalb County for the runoff election for DeKalb CEO.
So I think we need a strong leader in that position who thinks about, all the constituents, not just one area, not just Decatur, and so I thought it was important to come out and vote.
Candidates Lorraine Cochran Johnson and Larry Johnson are vying to take over as CEO. Both point to their prior experience serving on the Board of Commissioners.
I deliver for DeKalb. Since being elected, I have written ordinances to keep us safe.
They want somebody who's been a leader at the national level, at the state level, who understands the nuts and bolts of county government.
It was also a slow start to voting in Clayton County, where a key race on the ballot for residents is the sheriff's race.
Have to have a good sheriff that's going to follow up on things because you live here in the county.
Incumbent Sheriff LaVon Allen and Clayton County Board of Commissioners Chairman Jeff Turner are competing to be the Democratic candidate for sheriff in November. Both say their priorities as candidates is to improve conditions, overcrowding, and staffing at the jail.
The dilapidation and the deterioration of the county jail is something that has to be brought to our attention. You can't sit on it and wait for years and years.
My opponent is in a position where he could have fixed it if that's what he wanted to do over the last 16 years, I believe, that he's been in place.
Now, other counties, there's also congressional races on the ballot today. Now, you have until 7 p.m. to go and participate in today's runoff election. It's also important to note that you must show up to vote at your assigned precinct. Reporting live from Buckhead, I'm Ariana Manise for 11 Alive. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. So before you head out, it's always a good idea to check your voter registration, make sure that's up to date. Then you know exactly what precinct you need to go to as well. And don't forget a photo ID. And all of that for you is on 11alive.com. We've got a link to the Secretary of State's office for all of that information. You can watch some extended interviews right now if you want to hear more about it from the candidates. It's on our 11 Alive Plus streaming app. It's a free download on your Amazon Fire, Roku, or Apple TV devices.